Hello? Hello? Testing 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Ooh, what do we have here? Wait, let me just fix my setup. Uh, fit, fit to screen. Okay, okay. And what do do what do what do we what do we do? What do we do with this? Of course, we fix the controls. Cause a fucking monster made these controls. Uh huh. Uh huh. Okay. Okay. This'll be the last. Wait. This'll be the last. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Uh. What the fuck is it called? Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Warehouse of Existential Crisis. The last part 4 before the new Tony Hawk game comes out. Oh my god. We made it. We made it, you guys. You're gonna listen to another hour, 4 hours of me talking in total about shit. Okay, here we go. Woo! Do you like that fucking logo? Let me turn it off. Yeah, okay, now we can see. Now we can see. Alright, alright. Alright, off to a good start. I still know how to play this game. I'm still pretty okay with it. Okay. I had to bury someone's cat the other day. It was sad. It was very sad. It was my neighbor's cat, my friend's cat. And she died under mysterious causes. You know, sometimes cats just die. She's a really nice cat. She nursed some of the kittens, honestly. We had a really beautiful funeral for the cat. We had flowers for it in its grave. I dug the grave. Fun fact about me, you might not know. I probably have... I don't know how many cat graves I've dug throughout the years. And usually, they're not for my cats. Oh, that makes me actually sad, because the one cat that I owned and loved, like that, my actual cat, like BB, I never got to bury him. I didn't even get to see his body because I was away when he died. Ugh. Well, you know, that was my week last week. Burying cats and death, you know. I also have started making cartoons. Cartoons, yeah. I always had this plan of adapting some of the clips from Kisho into like cartoons, and for the past 2 days, I've been doing them. I've done 2 for sure. I've animated 2 the clips, and I think that they're pretty okay. The first one about free will, honestly, is a good one. The second one is like, it's okay. I had this thought of whenever anyone tells me that they want to make comics and they inevitably have this, I have this big idea for like 16 volumes of this epic story about whatever. I always tell them that you shouldn't do that at all. Never do your first story as this long epic unless you're absolutely dedicated to it. Because here's the thing, people don't rate. They don't rate your first work highly, or like they rate you via your works, right? Right? So how are you gonna honor that? Honor yourself if your first practice work is like a 1,000-page opus that you're never gonna finish, and people aren't even gonna rate it. You know why? Because you don't rate something that's unfinished. That's like in school, right? NA, right? Cuatro. You didn't fail, but you didn't pass either. You're kind of in limbo. You don't want that for your first work. So, thinking about that, I thought, nah, if I was. I definitely know how to make long videos, or at least long podcasts with a video element. It's not very interesting. I can do that. I can talk. I can make content for an hour. I can give you a TED Talk every week for an hour. That much I know is true. I can complain to you for an hour straight. But that's not very easy to digest, and I doubt that anybody's out. I mean, this is. I know that they're like, no one listens to this. I do it because it's fun, and I thought about how I approached comics, because I always knew that comics was my thing. It'll be my thing forever. But so I was smart about it. I didn't want to just do one big story. I wanted to do as many comics as possible. Like as many complete comics as possible. So I pride myself in loving the short form above anything else. Because, and even with short form, not a lot of people read the thing. But at least the people who do read it, they get a sense of where you're coming from. You got a complete thought. And you got one unit of practice. That's how I see it. Each complete work, each standalone work is a complete unit of practice. Some experience for you to level up, right? So I was thinking with YouTube, with the animating thing, it's also practice, making editing videos, which I used to do in high school, or like I wanted to make videos in high school. I had a camera and stuff, but yeah, I don't know why that part of me has only resurfaced lately, the wanting to make videos. I've always wanted to make videos. I guess, comics took over. And now this whole YouTube thing that I honestly have been taking it seriously, and I've been loving every moment of it. I have some further thoughts. Imagine that, me, Giselle, having further thoughts about a thing, expounding upon it more. I want to take it seriously, and that I want it to be good. I want to have good content, and I want to have accessible content for people to watch. Because that's the thing. I make a lot of content regularly on my own. Even in my own practice, I write. I make a lot of comics. Not a lot of it gets exposure, but. And it's fine, because for the people who like it, they like it, whatever. But maybe I'm still chasing that idea of, I want to make something that's gonna hit it big, So I want the YouTube thing to not just be this weird corner. I want it to be, I have some following, But that's all. I think that's the good thing about it. It's I do not feel too bad about not having too few views yet. It's like, I'm just happy to upload stuff. I'm happy to have that collection build up, and I think that's a good indication that maybe I'm gonna stick with this. Hopefully, The upload schedule is still fucked, but it's fine. Again, it's just a new channel, and I'm still understanding what kind of content that I want to put in. Of course, I want to put in tutorials. I want to put in more things like this where I just talk. But that's never gonna be the thing that brings people over to the channel. So I've been making cartoon clips, and I've been doing it like Dr. Cat style, or what's a just a very minimal animation style, just all GIFs, all drawn by me, with like moving backgrounds, so it's a little bit more visually interesting. It's all scuffed. It's all very what do you call it? It's all very shitty. It's all very shit posty. But the thing too about it is I'm very happy with it, and I told my girlfriend this. I told Teresa. One of the things that I like about this YouTube thing is I have thought of no one else but me when making this. This is not something I did for someone. It's not a collaboration. It's not I have been happy with it, is what I'm saying. It's very therapeutic. And I didn't know. I didn't know that the happiness was possible. So that's an update. And this Tony Hawk's Warehouse level existential crisis, the podcast. I guess it's a podcast. It has to be a podcast. It's gonna continue, but we're gonna play other levels because the game is coming out, and I'm gonna be very happy about it because it's my favorite game ever. So yeah, I thought that we just tie off the first part of it, the demo. I think this might be the most consistent thing. The Q show is very inconsistent. Andrin and Giselle is only semi-consistent. We've recorded one episode, but we haven't recorded anything. I haven't put out anything new because I frankly want a backlog. Because I get spurts of energy where I am very productive and I make a lot. Just this week, not only I buried the cat, I drew like a comic, a very quick comic about something. I won't say. It's just a secret. You're gonna have to find it. My name's not on it. And then I also animated 2 cartoons in 2 days, 30 seconds each. And then what else? What else did I do? I did, what was it, like 20 or maybe 30 portraits of English rugby players. So very tired, just crashing right now. This is the funny thing is you would think that talking for an hour would be tiring for me, and it is, but it is nothing like a drawing. It's very different from that. And I'm playing Tony Hawk, and I love it. And this is very therapeutic right now. How do you like the mic? How do you like the mic with actual visuals now? Because the last episode, it was just a black screen. I'm sorry about that. It's my fault completely. Yeah. Weird feeling good. I went to a rally with my girlfriend. Very happy about that. I mean, not every rally is gonna be not a great rally. Not every rally is gonna be like a sad rally. Like some rallies are just, it's fun. We did the National Heroes Day thing. So. Bantayag ng mga bayan. And I gave her birthday present, even though she asked for no birthday presents. which is fair. It's very fair, you know. But I still gave her because I think out of anyone in this world, she deserves a birthday gift. I mean, not there are a lot of people who deserve birthday gifts in general, but like her specifically, of course, specifically. I hate myself. She was very happy, and I baked her a banana bread with buttercream. And buttercream was not horrible, but it was not great. Problem with the buttercream was it was just sugar with butter that I did not whip it fluffy enough, and it turned white. It was still kind of yellow, but off yellow at least. But it was good because it's butter. Even if you fuck up the buttercream, it's still gonna be pretty good because it's a buttercream, man. I don't know what you want from me. It's a butter. Even if you fucking broke it, which you can, you end up having just butter. So you get some corn and you eat it. This was a good decision to record this thing randomly. ASMR. What else? And you know the thing about the podcast, I think there's something that really I haven't been able to express as well in my comics, in my comedy, even is that when you're hanging out with me, I'm actually a pretty lighthearted, goofy guy, and the YouTube channel kind of has some of that. At least with the cartoons, it has some of that because I feel like that episode with Noel, which is what I animated parts of, it actually shows. I fucked up. It actually shows the kind of humor that I actually have in real life, not just in stage humor. So I don't. That is not what I think. That is absolutely funny. I don't know why I kept doing puns for that long. I mean, I guess I was getting to a point now I was like expressing my actual nature. Because the puns were never really the point. It was honestly reactions and stuff. I mean, if okay, I have a pun. Okay. They're making they're making an Filipino adaptation of Where the Wild Things Are, you know? Pero iba yung title. Yung title ay papatayin ng Sendak si Barbara. Kasi Maurice Sendak yung nag-drawing at nag-gawa ng Where the Wild Things Are, and he's a very good illustrator. Yeah, I don't know who's gonna give a shit about that. I hope someone gives a shit about that. Papatayin ng Sendak si Barbara, which is a play on the movie of yung Papatayin sa Sendak si Barbara, that old movie, horror movie, Filipino horror movie. I've never watched, I just know the name. Ow. Yeah. I also want to adapt Andron's unused his sketch ideas. He has some sketch ideas. That are too good to pass up, I think. Honestly, I want to see him act more. So I want to readapt some of those sketch ideas to have monologues. I don't think I think the funniest part of a joke is when it goes beyond just the setup punchline thing. Honestly, sometimes I couldn't give a shit about the logic a joke, I guess. Like, it's more about the guy, yeah, the delivery. So how stupid and ridiculous things are, and more unformed, unfinished thoughts.
Whoa!
Ah. Wait lang. I just had to reply to something. I hope that dead air didn't ruin this completely this perfect podcast. Ah. I feel like the channel is going in too many directions, but I maybe it's not so bad that it goes into like a lot of different directions if I'm gonna commit to it, because eventually I'm gonna find something to stick to, and I am still in a exploratory phase. Like I mean, the point is, this is something new for me, something fun and new and creative and a little bit less effortful than comics that I can do on the side, you know. I have a couple ideas. I want to do a couple of podcasts that are specific. I don't even know why I'm keeping the Q show. I just like the name, but like I'm doing another podcast. Like in my head, I'm gonna do it, but I haven't yet put in the wheels and the motions in the wheels. You know, the motion with the wheels. I have not done anything yet, except say that I want to do a podcast named "I Saw Design," and it's gonna be an art podcast where I interview artists. Honestly, that was supposed to be Q show. That was the purpose of Q show, but I saw design better. I think it's more on point branding. Uh, uh, it's just the pun, man. It makes me happy. I saw design. It opened up my eyes. I saw design. Love is demanding without understanding. I saw design. It opened up my eyes. I saw design. That's gonna be the opening. I'm just gonna sing it, and then yung guest is just gonna be like, okay, Giselle, are you okay? I saw design, and it opened up my eyes. And most of my friends are artists, and they would be fun to talk to. You know. Would they be fun to talk to though, Giselle? Would they be fun to talk to? Guess. No one starts a podcast thinking, oh man, I feel bad for these people. This is not gonna be fun for them at all. That's kind of like this podcast. I don't know who's gonna fucking wanna listen to me talk. actual difference when I stream this and I just do like not a stream, just talking. And it's weird. It's weird. Like having the thought that someone might be here kind of ruins the thing. I feel like that's what happened with the Meat Boy second episode. I couldn't even talk. Well, second off, the second episode of Meat Boy was so fucking hard. I didn't know those levels, so I had to focus. I can't be jabbering on and on about shit. But this is easy. This is like a warm hug from your mother after a long day of work. And why do you live with your mother still after work? I do not know. I failed. My God.
Oh.
I should have an existential crisis right now. Because that's the theme of the podcast. But what the idea of life is, you can never really tell. Isn't that weird? I used to work at a games company, and I don't know who told me this. I think my boss told me this. The idea of true random in computing is so hard to achieve that people might spend millions to billions to achieving like true random with computers. They would use grains of sand, number crunching, all that weird stuff to achieve like a true random number. Because the weird thing is a true random number doesn't feel like it's true random. Like I think casinos don't actually have true random. I might be wrong, okay, but like true random would mean that you could win a game of slot machines 3 times in a row. And that's just not possible. And that would actually break the game. Story about this. I bought my dad a tablet. A little tablet computer where he could play slot machines because he loved going to slot machines. Right. He wasn't a gambler that he would lose money. He actually is very frugal with his money. He always he would tell me the weirdest fucking things growing up. He would tell me, "Oh, house always wins." Like, why would you tell a little kid that? But like that stuck with me. House always wins. Anyway, bought him this tablet toy, loaded up with a lot of games, and one of those games were slot machines. So I thought that he should be able to play games. He's not a tech savvy person at all. He got addicted to it. He would play it 24/7. He got addicted to it to the point that his finger suffered nerve damage because he was swiping too much. And you know what the funny thing is? I downloaded him like 100 different slot machine games. Some of those games have like difficulty levels where like you could get a jackpot easier. He didn't want it to be too easy because the game would break. That's the thing about a game that's based on RNG. If it's too easy, no one wants to play it. Is that not just the absolute tits on a fish? Right? Like the idea that intrinsically in our lizard brain we want it a little bit hard, or else we won't get that serotonin. Right? That is so horrible as a thought. That we have to suffer, feel a little bit of suffering to feel happiness. I mean, I fucking leveled up. I mean, that really is the nature of reality, right? If I entered like a cheat here on Tony Hawk that gave me like 100,000 per trick, I would not want to play this game anymore. Because I would need some challenge. Because it's the idea of challenge that makes reality feel like reality, right? Even though a huge part of reality is just utter randomness. And utter randomness means hitting the jackpot 3 times in a row, no matter the odds, because it's true random, right? Anyway, so like I guess from what I understand, slot machines do have a certain algorithm for like the difficulty. Okay, another this is something I'm completely sure about. You know the crane games? Those are rigged. Those have different, each time that you put in a coin it's a different it's a set number of pressure on the claw to pick up something. So it's not so much that you're not picking the right thing, it's that that claw is not gripping hard enough on that number of coin that you gave. So it's more about the number of tries that you get, not that it's not always the same pressure of claw grabbing. And that's the same thing with slot machines, right? There's this set random not random idea. Fuck. I tired myself out. I have to put in some work on like topics for this. It's not it's just showing up and doing this. Yes, it's fun. You know, I should, and relatively different. Each podcast so far has been relatively different from the last. But it would be great if I could put in more of a better clickbaity title. Like people going in expecting something more. You know, like, oh, this guy is gonna talk about this. I don't really talk about a specific thing. I just ramble. Oh my god. I record myself rambling. That's the weird thing about when I was a kid. Me and Joseph, we would, my best friend from childhood, we would talk on the phone constantly, and then we would call establishments with we'd call random numbers in the phone book, and we'd find places with answering machines, like the bank, or like there's this really rich subdivision, the Shell subdivision, I think, for workers of like the Shell company in Batangas. And they all had answering machines. Even though answering machines, they're kind of a big deal in the Philippines. Like no one I knew used answering machines, you know. But we would leave messages. And what we would do is we would call the number that the person left the message on to listen to the recorded message, and it would just be weird shit. One of the things that we recorded, I remember, was I don't know if it was me or if it was Joseph. It was like, maybe it was me, because I was really into pancakes and UFOs. But I said like, oh, pancakes, they're like UFOs, para silang UFOs, like that. They would crack each other up. I don't know why that was such a weird thing that we did. Eventually, people started putting in passwords on their answering machines. That's how bad it got. That we could no longer call some numbers, or most numbers in that subdivision, because there were these two idiot kids leaving fucking weird messages. Copying Dexter's lab or something. I am Dexter. That's not how Dexter sounds. Oblina. That's not. I'm doing a horrible impression, but like. But that's the thing. Like, there is something fun to recording like messages. And you don't know who's gonna listen, you know. So it's weird. I'm happy that there are some people from high school that listen to this. Maybe two or something. But that's something. Listening to the fucking weirdo from high school talk about burying cats. Ah, fuck. We all just want like this weird memorial to who we were, you know? Because we don't really get to see how people see us, right? So we want to leave something that we feel like we controlled how people perceive us. At least insecure people like me, right? I died. So at the very least, you would have something that you yourself felt like represented you. Because the way that I see myself and the way that I feel like other people see me is I'm a worthless sack of shit. And that's not like... That's how I feel. That's not how I actually think it is, pero I really do feel like that. And wow, and this is the cure to that thought. Like, I'm not a worthless sack of shit. Look at the 4 hours of gameplay that I recorded. I have a skewed sense of what worth is. Funny stuff. Not like funny gut belly busting funny, more like, huh, interesting. Sort of. Yes, go on, Giselle. Go on, Giselle, while I clean my dishes. Woohoo! Oh my god. Another thought is I want to be self-sufficient outside of doing commercial work. What the fuck? Right? I want a Patreon, whatever. I want people paying me directly to do the things that I want to do. For me, that's selfish. But I feel like I've done a lot for other people, work-wise. You know. It used to be that I was doing art specifically for me mostly, and then lately, I feel like it's never been. I haven't done something that's for me, and it's funny. This is for me. It's great, you know. To anybody, honestly, to anybody who listens, thank you so much, you know. I know no one listens, you know, like the last thing didn't get any views and like this thing is not out, but like I guess maybe I don't express enough of gratitude that I even have anybody listening, but I want you to know thank you for that. Thank you for getting to this point in the podcast. This ambling, rambling, freewheeling, free skate podcast. That's the name. That's the name of the fucking new podcast. Or like the after the Existential Warehouse of Tony Hawk podcast demo thing. It's gonna be free skate. The Giselle Nicolas experience. Just the Tony Hawk's Pro Skaters free skates experience. I don't know. I could just call it Blong. That'd be funny. The Blong podcast. Why? Isn't that's Blong? That's a funny name. The Blong podcast with Giselle Nicolas as the permanent host, guest, and producer. Blong. Somewhere I belong. How many goddamn podcasts do I have to have? The Q show is like on hiatus. Everything's on hiatus. Ugh. I had this idea that kanina lang. You know that there's like this huge part of cyberpunk that fetishizes Asian culture? You know, William Gibson has it, The Matrix has it, Blade Runner specifically, right, has it. Ghost in the Shell, anything, right? Even Asian cyberpunk fetishizes Asian stuff. I mean, look at the other Ghost in the Shell movie. It had that geisha robot thing. It was beautiful. Pero, and you know how that we're living in a hellish night, in a hellish hellscape of a world where we're fast approaching some sort of terminal point, an apocalypse, be it climate change, political, or like nuclear or whatever. We're basically in a cyberpunk future, right? And K-pop kind of is just absolutely the most cyberpunk thing about culture right now. That's not technology, right? If you said that there are these rabid fans called stans of these Asian groups, Asian Korean groups that were created by music firms or whatever they're called, managing firms, and then they're super popular and that they can control whole political movements just via Twitter, an electronic message through a shared message board online. That's a fucking cyberpunk. That's just absolutely fucking cyberpunk. That it's extremely global, but specifically Asian somehow, and it affected a lot of stuff recently in the States, right? With the Trump rallies, where they overloaded the tickets so that they could they would be under attended and stuff, or like how they could do like fan cams for like not Mia Malkova, that other porn star, Mia Khalifa, where they would basically ruin search engine results for certain tags, right? Like I think they might have ruined All Lives Matter or something by posting a lot of fan cams. I don't know what fan cams are. I had to research, but like Asian idols controlling huge swaths of the population through their music and their electronic missives. Absolutely William Gibson. Absolutely cyberpunk. And I'm not saying I'm an expert on shit like this. Like, I am talking out of my ass about this and like concocting a thought. But I said it. I said it. K-pop is cyberpunk. Blackpink, cyberpunk. Twice is cyberpunk. BTS, cyberpunk. And it's just the tertiary nature of it as well, that it's not it's not J-pop, it's K-pop. It's like a sub of a thing that overtook the main thing, you know? I don't think J-pop has ever been as big as K-pop. I think K-pop is even the biggest musical genre right now. And it's just it's inorganic in a way. It's so manufactured that it's so perfect. It's great. It's great, you know. It's the most aware. No, it's the most. Is it postmodern? It's something. It's so. It's so past the posts that it's so genuinely its own thing. You know, like music as product, singer artist as product. They don't even have to. They just have to learn how to dance and sing, you know, but they don't have to write. They don't actually have to have the experiences. They have a team of people writing the catchiest melodies, the most inoffensive lyrics to things. Ice cream chillin' chillin', ice cream chillin', ice cream chillin' chillin', ice cream, right? Who's gonna be offended by that? No one. I love ice cream. I love Korean girls. I love Selima, Minima, Gomez. I love the Addams Family, but like, it's a fucking, from like a sci-fi fan's perspective, it's amazing. I mean, sci-fi has always had this like, one of the important things about sci-fi is aesthetic, right? How things look differently in the future. It's not just how they function differently, how things have changed. Like, okay, like, remember Her? I know that's not the most sci-fi thing ever, but it really does have a lot of sci-fi tropes, and like, he really did think about it a lot. But the way that it looked, I feel like it was a complete throwback to like Atari Core or something. Like, people looked like they were programming Ataris, even though it was the future, right? That's aesthetic. And look at Blackpink. Look at how fucking dark are the times that we're living in. Remember the 80s when it was like all hardcore punk and stuff, but like you had Prince and all of these other pop stars too. Well, look at the music that's going on right now and how horrible things are. Wow, just the contrast to that. Like, it's amazing that it's not. It's amazing that contrast and complementary exist as an idea, right? That it's not just completely clashing. It's that it's a juxtaposition that is pleasing, and the opposites complement each other. Like, these pastel colored K-pop videos really go well with my race riots. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But everything's just so fucked up. But the music is so happy. It's like it's fighting so hard. I feel like the actual music should be any lyrics, any song, any genre, except at the end, the artist blows their head off, because that's how horrible things are in the world right now. Just, they should have like a recording of someone blowing their head off, play after, and like police sirens in the distance. Wow, that got dark. That got dark, Josiah. Is this the kind of content that you're gonna bring to the universe? Yes. Yes, I believe so. Woo. I like this. And I hope that it's not annoying that I keep saying that I like this podcast. I guess I just have the gift of gab. Fuck. I actually do not like that I have the gift of gab. It's it's not that I'm good at communicating. It's that I'm good at filling up dead air. That's not the same as saying something. That's the same as speaking something, but not actually saying something, man. And I wish I was one of those silent people. They might not say a lot, but when they do say something, it do mean something. It do mean a lot. And I don't know what to do about that. I'm 32. There's nothing I can do about that. Well, I could shut up. That's one of the things that I could do. But to fill up that silence, I don't know with what. Oh, I'm not really good at this level. Ice cream chillin', chillin', ice cream chillin', ice cream chillin', chillin', ice cream. Wait, I have to talk now. I have to say something. That was a very long moment of silence. That was a moment of silence for... Oh my god. Oh, fuck. Ow! Fuck. The fly flew into my ear, god damn it. No, fly! No, don't fly into my ear. Why do they do that? Why do they have to specifically into the ear? Why? Because they want to be heard. It's because they want to have someone notice their experience, their existence, their life. People don't want to go through life not being seen and heard. And the idea of privilege is that you actually just think about yourself and you don't see other people. And that's the real problem with the world today, because we don't have many people who are feeling gay, who don't have a lot of experience with being empathic. And that doesn't mean that I'm telepathic. It just means that I'm quite observant, and I don't want to be a servant to fascists and corrupt politicians, because they're all part of this shitty system. What's wrong with me? I'm that cringe fucking friend, aren't I? That's why people don't pay attention to me. It's the same thing as like, wag niyo pansin yung pulubi. He's in his own goddamn world, man. He's talking about peanuts. He's talking about spaceships and peanuts and horrible things. That man's not part of our normal existence. That man thinks people are gonna listen to his podcast. Got news for you, man. I don't give a shit. I do, pero like, obviously I might not give as much of a shit because I'm not sharing. I'm not making any real big moves to have people know that this podcast exists, Weird. Weird. Someone who doesn't have much of a following wants his thoughts heard on other topics. Maybe if people paid attention more to my work, I won't do this cringe shit. Oh, that's really passive aggressive. Okay, let's see. Okay. You know what? This will be my last 2 runs. I have to do a lot of other things. But I want to tell you, I'm happy that you came. Whoever you are, I'm happy that you got to this point of the podcast. I don't think anybody really reaches this point, but I'm proud of you. I don't know why. I'm proud of you. I feel like you wasted all of your time listening to me, but I'm happy that you did. And you know what? You don't have to be productive. Scratch that what I said about being productive, about wasting your time listening to me. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for absorbing the knowledge that I gave you. Thank you for spending this time to take care of yourself and just have a nice evening doing nothing, listening to me. You know, if it brings you joy, if it brings you thoughts of excitement or laughter or even just the he has a point, that's great for you. That's great for me. We should not be focused on work all the time. I told my girlfriend, we have the our role models in this society are all slaves. And let me tell you about this. Slaves in such a way that they're slaves to money. Even Jeff Bezos, who has the fucking 200 billion, he can't stop. He's not doing anything but make money, making decisions to make money, making decisions to take money away from other people. He's not living a good life. He's hoarding. These people, they're not even people anymore. They're just zeros. They're just fucking bank accounts. They're just huge bloated bank accounts that if they died, it'd cause such a fucking panic in the world because no one knows where the money's going. That's crazy. That's not someone you should aspire to. And even like looking at streamers, right? People say that they're super privileged and they have a lot of money just to make. They earn a lot of money just for playing games, right? You're fucking playing games for 8 hours a day, 4 hours a day even. That's not fun. I mean, that's fun, but that's not really living a real life in a way, you know? They're equally as enslaved by money. It's not good. It's not a good look. And I understand that people have to hustle. I have to hustle. I have to work 24/7 too. You know? I have to work fucking hard. Everyone has to work fucking hard. And that's the ideal that we want in our society. Is people who are just fucking working hard 24/7. That's not life, man. And we're not even working hard. They're not even doing it well. It's not like before that you could earn a good living out of your job and buy a house from it. You basically have to be so high in society to buy any property these days. You know, it's so unfair, the distribution of wealth in this society. And I do not want to be part of that anymore. I don't want to be part of society. Let me out. Fuck this fucking cage called society, man. No, like I don't want to guilt people into thinking that they have to work all the time. Because I don't want to do that myself. I shouldn't feel like I have to work 24/7 to make ends meet. You know. And I'm one of the lucky people. I have savings. I have maybe some fallback from my parents. You know, I'm not completely poor. But even then, I don't think I'll ever buy a house. You know, like on my own terms or money. I will never be able to buy a house with anything that I earn. I don't know. And let's say like you're a doctor, right? And you get to buy a house. How much time of your life did you actually give for the opportunity to earn money to buy a house? You had to go through 4 years of college, 4 years of med school, how many years of residency, how many hours is that in the hospital to be able to earn all this shit? That doesn't sound like a good deal, honestly. You know? So what I'm saying the three people who are still with me. Blessy, Jamuel, Clem. Let's go down to Edsa and burn down the houses. I'm kidding. I am kidding. Don't take any of that in context. You know. Chill lang tayo. Gah. This whole fucking society built upon this idea that hard work will give you happiness. But success in this society is RNG, man. It's just absolutely random sometimes. Just like that fucking crane game. It's not so much that it's skill, it's the amount of money that you spent and amount of time that you spent on it. Is that skill? Maybe on a level, but there's a huge part of it that it's just tricking you, you know? And honestly, why do you have to fucking play a crane game to buy a fucking plushie of Ultraman? You should be able to smash that crane game and get all the beautiful treats inside. But that's not how our fucking stupid society works. That's been the last episode of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Warehouse of Existential Crisis Part 4. It's the last episode. The next episode might be... I'm going to record it on Friday because the whole game is coming out and I'm going to record a whole playthrough of everything and I'm going to talk over it and you're going to think this is going to be... I'm never going to stop playing this game. So it's going to be fun and thank you for listening. Goodbye. Friends, be well.